Hello everyone. This is our 15th class on income tax for BCom 5th semester students, and today we are going to start with the practical part, that is finding residential status. Before we find the residential status, we come across one important part, that is calculation of number of days a person who has stayed in India. There are certain conditions that we need to check before we find residential status, and these conditions are related to calculation of number of days. The first condition is the day of leaving and arriving both are inclusive. That means I would like to explain this to you with an example. Suppose I am leaving India on 1st January and I am arriving back in the India on 31st Jan. Same month, on the first date I am leaving and on the last date of month I am arriving back. 1st January I am leaving India, but the day I am leaving India is considered as my stay in India. That is, when we are calculating number of days stay, 1st January is treated as number of days stay in India itself. That means that day is considered that I have stayed in India on 1st January. I left India on 1st January, but still for some time I was there in India. That is the reason it is considered that the stay in India. 31st January I arrived back to India. The day of arriving is also considered as number of stay or the stay in India. Here in the month of January, from 1st to 31st, first I left but 31st I arrived. Therefore, in the month of January, 2 days are considered as my stay in India, wherein 29 days are considered as my stay outside India. I hope you have understood the first condition when calculating number of days, that is the day of leaving and the day of arriving both are inclusive, both are considered as stay in India. Next, day starts at midnight 12 am. A second past 12 is also considered as day in India. So the day starts at midnight 12 am. Next, the fraction of minute is also treated as 1 day. Let us assume on 1st January I have left India. I left India at midnight, 12 o'clock past 30 seconds. So fraction of minute, that is half minute I was there in India, that half minute is also considered as 1 day in India. That is, the fraction of minute is also treated as 1 day. And on 31st January, I arrived back to India in the night 11:59, that is only 1 minute before the day ends. So 1 minute before the day ends, that 1 minute is also treated as 1 complete day stay in India. As we have seen the first condition, the day of leaving and the day of arriving both are inclusive. So the fraction of minute is also treated as 1 day. Next, Sunday and holidays are inclusive. When you are calculating number of days stay, you have to include all the Sundays and all the holidays. Next, stay may be at one place or different places in India. 1st Jan to 31st Jan I was not there in India, but rest of the days I was there in India. Let us assume for 10 days I was in Belgaum, 20 days I was in Bangalore, and 100 days I was in Delhi. So 130 days I was there in India. Let us assume total 130 days I was there in India, remaining days I was there outside country. Now, this means the days need not be continuous. Some days I have stayed in Belgaum, some days in Bangalore, some days in Delhi. All the total is calculated and is considered while finding total number of days stay in India. Stay need not be continuous. Stay need not be continuous in the sense, for some days I can stay in India, some days I can stay in foreign country. So the days of stay need not be continuous. So some days I have come, some days I have gone. All the days that I was there in India are added, and then the total number of days are computed. So the 6 conditions to calculate number of days is the day of leaving and arriving, both are inclusive. Day starts at midnight 12 am. Fraction of minute is also treated as 1 day. Sunday and holidays are inclusive. Stay may be at one place or different places in India, and stay need not be continuous. Let us see sum now. Pay more attention, pay more concentration when you are solving this sum. And if you are not carrying pen, pencil, book and calculator with you, pause the video, go and get all these materials, because we are starting with the practical part from today. So whatever I am telling, to understand it in a better manner, you simultaneously calculate it on your calculator. So pause the video, go and get your calci. Let me start with the sum. Mr. Arun left India for the first time to Pakistan on 1st January 2020. He returned back on 31st March 2020. Identify the total number of days he stayed in India during the previous year 2019-20, and also find his residential status for the assessment year 2020-2021. First tell me, when does our previous year starts? Our previous year is 2019 and 2020. 2019 it starts, means on what date it starts? It starts on 1st April 2019 and it ends on 31st March 2020. Here you are provided information that 1st January 2020 he left, means it includes in our previous year, right? Our previous year ends on 31st March 2020. He left on 1st January 2020 and he returned back on 31st March 2020. Now, 31st March 2020 he left. Identify the total number of days he stayed in India during previous year and also find his residential status for the assessment year 2020-2021. Let us now find the total number of days Mr. Arun has stayed in India. Once we find total number of days he has stayed in India, we can check his residential status. Let us begin calculation of number of days in the previous year. Here, just a minute. Yes, here, when is Mr. Arun left India for the first time? He left it on 1st January 2020 and he returned back on 31st March 2020. Just concentrate on first line. Mr. Arun left India for the first time. That means he left on 1st January for the first time only. All the other days, all the other months, he was there in India itself. So 1st January he has left India means in the previous year from 1st April 2019 to 1st January 2020 he was there in India. Therefore, in the month of April 2019, for how many days he was there in India? He was there in India for 30 days. In May, he was there in India for 31 days. June, he was there in India for 30 days. July, 31 days. August, 31 days. September, 30 days. October, 30 days. November, 30 days. December, 30 1 days, January 1 day. Why I have included January also in calculating number of days? Because the first condition itself we have seen that the day of leaving is considered as stay in India. I left on, the assessee is left on 1st January, but 1st January is treated as stay in India. Therefore, January 1 day I have included. And when is returned back? He is returned back on 31st March. He is returned on 31st March means March month 1 day, that is 31st when he arrived in India, that is considered as stay in India. So in the January month, Arun was there for 1 day, and when he arrived in India in the month of March, then he was there for 1 day. And when he has left India on 1st January itself, that means all these previous months by default he was there in India itself. So after calculating it, we get total 277 days stay in the India in the previous year 2019-20. This is the major part of calculation. You should be very careful when you are taking number of days when you are calculating it. Okay. Coming to next part. Now we got to know that how many days Mr. Arun was there in the India in the previous year 2019-20. It is 277 days. Just remember that he was there in India in the previous year for 277 days. Now let us find his residential status. Residential status can be calculated using two conditions, basic as well as additional conditions. What are basic conditions? First basic condition is he has been there in India for 182 days or more in the previous year. Previous year is 2019-20, and for how many days Mr. Arun was there in India? He was there in India for 277 days. That means he has fulfilled first basic condition. He was there in India for more than 182 days in the previous year. Therefore, the first basic condition I have marked as S, as he has fulfilled this condition. Let us check the second basic condition. He has been there in India for 60 days in previous year and 365 days in 4 preceding previous years. Was he there in India for 60 days? Obviously yes, he was there in India for 277 days, which exceeds 60 days. He was there in India for 60 days plus 365 days in 4 preceding previous year. See here, Mr. Arun has left India for the first time in the month of January. That means before January, all the days he was there in India itself. That means obviously he was resident in India for more than 365 days out of 4 preceding previous year. In all the 4 preceding previous years, he was there for 365 days in each year. Not only for a year, but all the years he was there in India for 365 days. So yes, the second basic condition is also fulfilled. That is why I have written there as yes. Mr. Arun has fulfilled both basic conditions, that is staying in India for 182 days in the previous year and also staying in India for 60 days in previous year plus 365 days in 4 preceding previous years. Coming to additional conditions. First additional condition is resident for 2 years out of 10 preceding previous years. Was he resident for 2 years out of 10 preceding previous years? Yes, because he has left India for the first time on 1st January 2020. That means all the previous years he was resident in India. Second, 730 days in 7 preceding previous years. This also he has fulfilled, because only in the previous year he has left India for the first time. All the other years he was there in India itself. So he stayed in India for more than 730 days out of 7 preceding previous years. Now Mr. Arun, he has fulfilled both the basic conditions, he has fulfilled both the additional conditions. That means he is known as ordinarily resident in India. Who is known as ordinarily resident in India? If a person fulfills any one basic condition and both the additional conditions. So if a person fulfills any one basic condition and both the additional condition, is treated as or is known as ordinarily resident in India. In our problem, Mr. Arun has fulfilled both the basic conditions and both the additional conditions, so he is ordinarily resident in India. So this is done for today's class. Next class we will be seeing some more problems wherein the number of days of stay of a assessee is not continuous in nature. That means he has been in India for some days, again left India, again came back. When the number of stay in India is not continuous, how the residential status is calculated, we'll see in the next class. Hope you have understood how to calculate number of days and also how to find the residential status.